Hi everyone, and welcome back to My Dad and Liam. I'm Liam.
And I'm the dad, Arthur. We're son and father duo from London who have called the beautiful chaos of Indonesia our second home for the last 20 years.
A massive thank you to our founder, Aisha, for making all of this happen. If this is your first time joining us, we'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It really helps our small channel grow.
Just a small note before we begin. Everything we discuss here is purely our personal opinion, based on our own experiences. We sincerely apologize for any inaccuracies, mistakes, or if we accidentally say something that causes offense. That is never our intention.
Exactly. You might also notice that there's no video and no pictures of us, just a yellow and black vintage television. That's on purpose. We feel it's a more comfortable and personal way to just talk and listen, without any distractions. For our international friends, subtitles are available. Click CC to select your language. So, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get into it. Morning, Dad. I brought you that local coffee you like, the strong one from Sidikalang.
Brilliant, lad. Thank you. You're a good lad. Trying to butter me up for something?
Just keeping my primary asset happy, Dad. But this coffee actually got me thinking about that classic question we always get. Is it really cheap to live in Indonesia?
An impossible question. To answer it honestly, you have to see that there are 3 different Indonesias one can live in. I call them the 3 tiers. First, you have the backpacker's dream. Second, the comfortable expat. And third, what I call the CEO bubble. The cost for each is wildly different.
That's a perfect framework. So let's use that framework to compare the 2 places most foreigners know, the bustling business hub of Jakarta versus the lifestyle island of Bali.
A tale of 2 cities. Right then, where do we start?
Let's start with Jakarta, the world I know best. For many expats there, especially in business, they live firmly in the bubble. A decent apartment in a central area can cost as much as a flat in London's Zone 2.
For what I imagine is a slightly larger space than a shoebox. But the cost doesn't stop at rent, does it? I once took my mum for what I thought would be a simple brunch in a trendy Jakarta cafe. My word, I paid a small fortune for what was essentially eggs on toast.
Let me guess, it had an artfully placed flower on it.
It did. A very expensive, albeit lovely little flower. For that price, I could have bought the entire chicken that laid the eggs. It's madness.
It's the cost of that Tier 3 corporate lifestyle. But Bali is where the spectrum really opens up. You can experience all 3 tiers there.
Oh, completely. You have Tier 1, the backpacker life, simple coast rooms, eating glorious nasi goreng from a roadside stall for the price of a single London bus ticket. A very romantic idea.
I tried it once, for about a week, thought I'd be incredibly spiritual. Turns out I was just incredibly hungry, and I really, really missed Mum's cooking. So much for my career as a frugal traveller.
I remember that. You came home looking very thin. But then you have Tier 2 in Bali, the comfortable expat life. You can find a beautiful villa with a private pool for the price of a cramped flat in Brighton. But to do that right, to get the best value, you have to have the skill of your mum. She is an absolute master of this. After living here for 20 years, you learn a thing or two, but she has the instinct. She'll go to the Ubad market at dawn, not just to buy ingredients, but to build relationships. She comes home with the freshest food and a dozen new friends.
And that's a skill you can't put a price on. But even for a comfortable life, there are some big universal costs that can surprise newcomers.
Oh yes, the grown-up expenses.
Let's touch on them briefly, as they're important for anyone seriously considering a move. Healthcare, for instance. The private hospitals are excellent, but they come with a premium price tag. My friend's bill for a simple bout of dengue fever was, let's just say, eye-watering.
It's a different world from the NHS, isn't it? Back home, you just show up. Here, you truly have to be financially prepared for those what-if moments. And the same goes for education. The international school fees are world-class, and so are their prices.
A very diplomatic way of putting it, Dad.
And let's not forget the other unexpected costs, the infamous visa run, the ritual of being politely kicked out of paradise every couple of months, a rather expensive game of hide-and-seek with immigration.
A rite of passage.
It is, and the humidity tax, the constant battle against moisture, the aircon that needs servicing, these little things add up.
Which brings us to my favorite cost, the free alarm clock in our neighborhood.
The Rooster, our neighbor's feathered sergeant major. At first I was furious. Now I find it charming. It's the sound of real life. It's also why nobody walks. The heat, the humidity, the pavements that are more like obstacle courses. The motorbike becomes the only logical choice.
And for everything else, there's the CEO bubble back in the city.
Where you pay a king's ransom for a block of imported cheddar. Don't laugh, it's a tragedy. You're not just paying for cheese, you're paying for the memory of a ploughman's lunch. For that price, I'd expect it to be delivered by a member of the royal family.
So, after all this, what's the final verdict, Dad?
Living here teaches you the profound difference between price and value. The imported cheese has a high price, but little real value. But the smile from the lady at the market stall, the sound of the rooster telling you a new day has begun, the taste of the meal your mum creates from ingredients she found with care, those things have no price, but their value is immeasurable. Your mum understands that better than anyone. She knows the real richness isn't in the cheese, it's in the connections. That is the true profit of this life, and for that, I am eternally grateful.
I couldn't agree more, Dad. Well said. And that's all the time we have for today. We hope that gave you a little taste of life in Indonesia. We're always looking for new ideas for what to talk about next.
That's right, so please leave us a comment below. What topics about Indonesia would you like to hear us discuss next? Culture, food, daily life, funny stories? Let us know.
Thanks so much for listening to My Dad and Liam. We'll talk to you next time.